So, hello, ma'am. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. And how about you?
Yeah, I'm doing also well, ma'am. By the grace of God and you all.
Okay, great. So, as we are meeting for the first time, may I know about your introduction, please?
Sure. So, this is Chandan Lahiri. I live in Bihar state. Professionally, I'm a teacher. And if I discuss about my hobbies, so I love to interact with new people and traveling different places. This is my hobbies. Yeah, that's all about me.
Wow, great that you have mentioned you are a teacher. So,
Thank
before
you.
moving to the questions, let me introduce myself. Yeah, as you know, already know my name, especially I'm Priya. I'm from Tamil Nadu. I'm doing my graduation in final year, especially in the stream of BA English Literature. So I have a YouTube channel named called Priya's English World where I can post spoken English related content video. My hobbies, everything is related to English, which covers the four aspects of learning a language: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So that's
Wow.
it.
It was quite wonderful, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. So, tell me about like as you mentioned, like you live in Tamil Nadu, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, when did you get the idea of learning this language and why? I would like to know the reasons behind this.
Why means I had the interest in within myself. So no one motivated me, no one guided me. The natural, some passion in my heart which burns as a fire. So it
Mhm.
just releasing out right now. So that's how I started my English journey.
Wow, really very nice, ma'am. Okay, so like I have one topic, and I think I should discuss over this, right? So as a learner, they have been facing many problems at their beginnings, right? Like if the any learner want to be quite fluent into this language, right? So, according to you, ma'am, what type of opinion and suggestion would you like to give to all the learners?
Okay. For those who wants to master their English fluency,
Yes,
especially, I would suggest them if you have the keen interest, enthusiasm towards learning this language, especially want to be fluent speaker in it, it is a piece of cake, but it's not a instant cake. Okay, if you
yes,
want to attain fluency means you have to be patient and you have to practice, maintain consistency, and eventually, gradually, you will see the improvement. But most of the people who just drastically expecting the improvement. So don't anticipate the quick results, okay? It's just a language we have to learn, keep on learning it. Then only we will see our improvement while doing so. Because
yeah,
we are facing the lack of English environment because English is not our native language too. It's a second language. So practice makes you perfect.
yes, you're right, ma'am. You're right. So, ma'am, in the current situations, what do you do to extend the level of your English? May I know?
Okay, in current situation, what are the strategies I have been following? That is your question, no? Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll let me know you. Yes, I think past 1 year before, I was in my intermediate, I was in my beginner level. So when I was started my English journey, especially when I was studying second year with my college. So now you can see there are a lot of improvements are there. So I improved a lot while I'm speaking. So currently I have been following few methods in order to master my English, especially master my pronunciation and enrich my vocabularies too. So being a beginner, it is easy for them to reach the intermediate level. But when the person attain the intermediate level, it is very difficult to move forward, especially to become advanced level speaker. So there itself, a lot of English learning face a stagnant plateau situation. So when it comes to me, I've been following two methods to pronunciation because we all have the mother tongue influence while we are speaking. So I'm just following the loud reading method when it comes to vocabulary part. So I'm just observing videos only. I'm not going to follow any new methods and tips to enrich my vocabulary because I have followed it. I have tried various methods. I have maintained a separate notebook for vocabularies along with the meanings and sentence. But when it comes to real conversation, I would not use those words especially. Why? Because the words would not come to my mind too. So I think it's waste of time. So just listen, and if we keep on repeating the video, something content means definitely that word naturally going to register in our subconscious mind. That is the natural method to improve our vocabulary. So these are the two methods which I'm following.
Wow. It was really fantabulous, I would say, ma'am. Really. So, ma'am, tell me about in this time, you can say the one problem is the biggest problem for every learner's life. Whatever they learned before about vocabulary or structure, they forget very easily. So, if the learner want to keep remembering anything for a long time, so what they should do, according to
Yeah,
you?
of course. As a learner, I would suggest this. This is repetition. You have to repeat it again, over and over again. So if you incorporate whatever the new things you have learned in your English journey, in your daily life continuously means, it will become habitual for you. So you won't face any difficult situation while you are speaking. So repetition practice is the key and solution for this problem.
Yeah, you're right, ma'am. But somewhere, ma'am, I'm considering each things you can't repeat multiple times,
Yeah,
right?
come to new vocabulary part two.
Right. Because you are not having uh, similar situations every time to repeat out the same vocabulary, right? So I think, as far as my knowledge, putting any topic that would be convenient for them, and that is included of multiple vocabulary, right?
Okay, great.
Having little chance to repeat out that vocabulary again into their conversation, right?
Yes,
So
of
this would be quite effective manner of repeating and recalling vocabulary, right,
yeah,
ma'am?
of course. Yeah, it's a great method too.
Yeah. So yeah, ma'am. So tell me, having free time at your daily life, how do you utilize that time?
Which means you are asking about free time, leisure time.
Yes.
Yeah, when it comes to leisure time, right now I'm quite busy on my studies because as I already mentioned you that I am a college going student now. I'm doing graduation final year especially. So
Wow.
I don't have enough time. I don't have any free and leisure time too. So I was just managing it because it is my final year. I have to concentrate on my project, semester, everything. So apart from that, I'm just allotting a time. I'm not allowed a separate time for English. When it comes to morning, while I'm getting ready for my college, I used to listen some content in English. It just play background of my household noise something, but I keep on get ready for it, having breakfast. So when I reach my home, if I get some time, means I'll make these kind of conversation sessions, especially it boost up our practice level when it comes to speaking. So whenever I
Mhm.
get time, I used to give importance to listening. And simultaneously, whenever I will get time, I just read books. I start to read books because now I'm become a bookworm. But when I was a beginner, I'm not like that. I hate book reading, but now it's changed me. So these are the things which just naturally helping me towards my English journey.
Mm. Yeah, you're right, ma'am. Book has a vital role in learner's life. I also personally believe into this. So,
Okay.
ma'am, do you have any question for asking me?
Yes, of course. So, as you have mentioned that you are a teacher, so which subject you are taking for your students?
Okay. Actually, I teach up to only 5 class students. So personally, I teach English subject, but somewhere I teach every subject.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, you are teaching, you are doing multitasking. You don't have a separate subject to teach. You teach any subject, it is piece of cake for you.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
it's a requirement, ma'am.
So, what is your mother tongue?
My mother tongue is Hindi.
Hindi. Okay, okay. So, when did you start your English journey?
Okay. I started my English journey 2 years back.
2 years back. Great. So, did
Yes.
you join any spoken English classes in order to learn English?
No, ma'am.
Oh, great. So, could you please elaborate it? How you have learned English, like self-learning method?
Okay.
Yeah.
Earlier time when I started, then that time I used to interact with multiple people over the application audio conversation. Okay. I kept going on for 6 months. The same process you can say. After knowing about these kinds of conversation, video conversation, so then I just indulged myself in into these kinds of platform and I started conversation with the people because somewhere I was not satisfied internally because audio conversation is not that much effective more than attending video conversation. So and
So,
I
you
follow all these usual things as a generally the thing that I following reading is speaking like that.
wonderful. You know one thing, a lot of beginners are just interested to speak English. They have the expectation level, they really want to be attain the fluency too. But when it comes to the practicing part, speaking, they won't do it. They won't allow the time because of hesitation. So,
Yeah,
but when it comes to your point of view, you're not like that. You are just taking that speaking step and you are giving such a lot of importance to that too. So definitely, if you interact with people from various states, it will help you to improve your English fluency very soon. That you
yeah.
have confidence to have the conversation too. That was wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Because what I learned through my journey, like speaking, it's a way of learning and improving as soon as you expect from yourself. If you read
Yes,
anything, it doesn't matter. But if you do not do that practical act, then you can't learn anything. What I personally consider.
yeah, absolutely right. You are just doing a great things in your life.
Yeah. And after connecting with multiple personalities, we are going to learn the manner, the arts of creating a statement situationally, how to raise the questions, right? Where you have to take pause, where you have to start, many more things you are going to learn, right?
Yes, absolutely. So, how long have you been practicing here in this application?
I think for 6 months you can say.
6 months before. Great. So,
Yes,
is it useful for you?
of course, ma'am. It is a quite useful for me, and you can say like it is an environment for me, English environment.
Of course. I think it's not like a online conversation. It's like a, how can we say, real conversation. Just
Yeah,
you're in front of me. You are speaking with me. That's how it feels.
and ultimately, what we want from self to do the conversation is like that, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. I know, like intentionally, we indulge self into these kinds of applications for learning and speaking. But apart from we are discussing multiple things that is include our actual life. And this is very imperative to extend the level of your experiences and developing in your personalities up to the mark.
Yes.
Right.
As well as simultaneously, we are enriching or expand our knowledge too when it comes to the various topics when we are interacting with a lot of people.
Yeah. Because if you manifest your opinion into your native language, no nobody will listen you, right?
Yes.
But this language is a quite and high influencing way people can attract from you and eagerly listen to you.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. Sounds good. Yes. Okay. Let me know how many conversation you have taken in this 6 months.
I think I have attended I think more than 100 plus.
Wow. Really? So fascinating to hear about it. I think
Yeah,
definitely you will have a lot of experience and vast knowledge, especially making conversations too.
yeah, you
But we
can say,
are very
ma'am.
new to this platform.
Yeah, you can say, ma'am, because this was a necessity for me. If I couldn't attend these kinds of sessions, so without attending, I couldn't expect to learn what I want in life. Because I
Yes,
was not taking any guidance or professional teacher, you can say, right?
yes.
So whatever I wanted before, I had to do by my own, right?
Yeah, the self-learning. We are just
Self-learn.
boasting ourselves and we are learning anything if we have this self-discipline as well as confidence.
Yeah, this is called mindset, ma'am.
Yeah, of course.
Hmm.
Mindset.
Yeah. Because
Okay. What is the purpose of learning this language, especially when it comes to your personal?
actually, ma'am, this language gives us quite pleasure, really. Whenever I
Yes,
interact with people, I feel yeah something I did well into my life. So that I get this chance to talk with good personalities every single day. Okay,
yeah,
and I do for my happiness only. I know in future I will get a little bit benefit from this language as well. But this is the main motive of my life to indulge
wow.
myself into this language to get happiness and having peace internally.
You are not only getting happiness and peacefulness from this conversation, simultaneously you are working on your English fluency when it comes to a communication part.
Yes. Because I remember, ma'am, 5 years back, I used to listen a lot, multiple speech of people. Alina Ray is, I think, one of the best YouTuber you can say. So I was just listening and imagination internally. Like one day I would just speak like her.
Yeah, of course. I think she's something special. Her English is so unique.
Of course, ma'am, because her entire study has been done by English medium school, you can say.
Oh, oh, I think it is a piece of cake for her. When it comes to
Of
us,
course,
it is a daunting task, difficult for us to manage, learn this language.
of
But
course.
you know one thing, if we get the English environment within our surroundings, means it is also very easy for us to master this language within 3 to 2 months.
Yeah, of course, but what I personally consider without discussing on several kinds of matter, you couldn't improve yourself. You couldn't
Yes,
have the better approach into this language. What do you expect from yourself? Because this is the second language. We have to deal with multiple situations, okay, included the topics, you can say. So
yes,
knowing how to convey our message relevant of the situations, you have to discuss over this, right?
yes, right, absolutely. So then
Yeah,
only we'll get the least knowledge according to these types of stuffs.
of course. If supposed to be, are you having the one topic and you have a 50 plus sentences over this matter? So
Yes,
it's obvious things you are quite fluent into this because you know the arts of creating multiple statement over this matter in a frequent manner, you can say, right? And this is the way of sustaining your confidence level up to the way, right?
right, perfect.
Yeah.
So,
And
currently, what are the strategies you have been following in order to improve your English fluency?
actually, I watch American web series,
American
and
accent. Okay.
every single day I have attained at least one conversation with co-learner.
Don't you have any YouTube channel?
I have YouTube channel.
You have YouTube channel. So what's
Yes,
your YouTube channel name?
this is my name, Chandan Lahiri.
Chandan name. Okay, great, great. So
Yes,
I didn't know. Just now I come to know about your channel names too.
it's okay, ma'am. I have been watching multiple videos of yours, and I ever
Okay.
imagined like one day I would connect with you. Really?
Oh, that's so wonderful and excited to hear this news from your side. Okay, when did you start to watch my videos? Do you
Oh,
remember that?
don't. Of course, ma'am. I just today I also watched your video with somebody. I think I forget her name. His name.
Um,
It is a coincidence. Like I met you today. Really? Because you couldn't, put your profile even. So could I
yes.
recognize you? So suddenly I see you into this conversation. I become so much happy internally. Really.
Wow. Really excited.
Yeah. Because having session with expert person, experienced person, it's a really fortune for me. And you're quite experienced, what I observed for a long time.
Yes, of course. You know one thing? I just accepted your invitation, especially that your interest, all credits goes to your enthusiasm, your interest. Then only you're reaching out to me and asking me to having this conversation. So without your interest, it isn't possible right now.
Yeah, you can say. And apart from like, having different kinds of curiosity to connect multiple people. So it
Yes.
was the reason behind me also to search out, really.
Yeah. Great
Usually
idea.
in this,
Great mindset you have.
yeah. I remember I connecting with one ma'am also, and she also belonged to Tamil Nadu. I
Okay.
forget her name, but she was also very nice speaker, I would say, like you.
Wow. Great to hear about her. I think you have a lot of experience about making conversation. So let me know about your first conversation in that time. How did you feel? How did you make conversation? So it's really interesting to hear about.
Of course, ma'am. My first conversation with Santa, ma'am.
Shanta ma'am, first conversation with expert trainer. You had
Yes.
a conversation. Great.
And that time I was not that much expert or that much, confident. But somehow I just attend session with her, and I was quite nervous that time because what
Yeah.
doesn't comes within me. Okay, my body was shivering internally.
Okay. So that
I
was your first
remember
conversation.
it was petrified experience of mine that time. But I just took decision no matter how. But I have to sustain my consistency and keep working upon until I get succeed into this.
Yes, I think you have been practicing almost 6 months here, no? 6 months here to master your communication. So I think you have gained enough confidence and you would know how to ask questions, especially when it comes to interacting with people. Because when I started this conversation, you were asking a lot of questions to me. It is very easy for me to manage this conversation.
Of
Yeah, it's
course,
really
I know.
fascinating to continue this conversation too.
Yeah, ma'am, this is my responsibility to sustain learners with you. Yeah, any companion with you. If
Yes,
supposed to be are you connecting with any person, so this is your responsibility how to giving them relief internally and giving them strength to expose herself, into the conversation. So these are things I always try to maintain equally.
yes, of course, needed points.
Otherwise, how could you expect to having the engagement into your conversation,
Yeah, of course.
right? Because
So
we are doing
great,
these kinds of activities with the co-learner.
great. Especially as we have to be attentive while making conversation. Then only the opposite person will have the same enthusiasm and the person would like to have conversation with us. Otherwise,
Yeah,
they might be like they might get boring sensation too.
yeah, and as well as you have to recognize the vibes of learners, their interests, and accordingly you have to work upon. So
Okay.
which I do ever.
Okay. Yeah, it's really perfect point that every learners, every practicing learners definitely want to follow it. So I think you have mentioned at 5 o'clock you have a session. So do you taking any online classes for beginners?
No, I teach online, offline, but today
Offline.
I took leave. Yes,
We got it. So we have discussed a lot of things in this video. Definitely it will be useful for especially beginners who have
yes.
been struggling to master the English language definitely. So thank you so much for this wonderful conversation.
Thank you so much, ma'am.